I can't do this. No. All right, ready?
Yeah.
What's up, YouTube? My name's Abel. This is JJ. This is the first official episode of the Dead Clocks podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about tag teams.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to dive a little bit into maybe some of our favorite match types, stipulation matches, maybe even some of our opinions of the greatest tag teams of all time, some of our favorites. But first, before we dive into that, we have to talk about what has transpired in the last couple of weeks in the WWE, and we're going to talk about the John Cena heel turn.
Yep.
We're a little late on this, but
that's okay.
I'm going to first ask you, in your opinion, is this a bigger moment in wrestling than the Hulk Hogan heel turn?
No, but it's second. As far as turns go, yeah. As far as heel turns go, it's got to be second to Hogan.
Why is Hogan first?
Well, for one, he's Hogan. But two, I think Hogan's was probably more unpredictable. I think a lot of people were expecting John to turn.
At least one of the two. People were thinking John Cena or Cody were going to turn. Something was going to happen.
Yeah, something was going to happen for sure. Yeah. I got to say, though, I didn't know which one was going to happen, though. I really didn't.
Yeah.
Going into it. But did you pop, though, in your living room?
Oh, man.
I
was at work. I was watching it at work and multitasking. I was watching it and, man, I got up out of the chair. It's just been a long time wanting to see something like that happen. And I agree with you, though. Hogan is definitely a bigger...
It is.
Because it changed the industry.
It was at the right time, too. John Cena's, I would argue, is a little late.
It's a little late.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it's a huge deal.
It is still a big deal. And I said this before, but I would say his heel turn is so important that I would argue, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me, I would say it essentially saved his legacy for in the view of a lot of fans. Because
what you're saying is that he went up a notch on the Mount Rushmore.
Yes, absolutely. Well, not Mount Rushmore, but he did go up a notch on the list because without that heel turn, I feel like his career was just incomplete. He would have retired. He would have always said, "What if?" You know, especially because John Cena, I think he's a natural born heel. Really,
he fits it very well.
Yeah, because he's not likable even when he's a good guy. You know,
it gets kind of cheesy over the years, kind of corny. Cheesy. Definitely. More relatable to like the children, I guess, the kids. And as someone that's a little bit older, like ourselves, watched it from, Attitude Era type. It's just kind of like it's a little bit too much sometimes. That like overzealous on the material. But
I know we're not gonna spend a lot of time on this. See, I didn't watch wrestling for like 10 years, and when I got back into it, I got back into it hardcore, just like it was when I was a kid. But I knew about John Cena. I knew that everybody loved him. He was a big deal.
Yeah.
When I got back into wrestling, I started watching it, and I was like, man, I got to watch this Cena guy because everybody says he's great. Like I watched Raw. He had a match on Raw. Couldn't tell you who he was against. Not a great match, right? Didn't think too much of it. It's like, bad match.
Okay.
Right? Probably a week or two later, same thing.
Right.
By the third time, I was like, something's wrong here.
You were waiting for I
was waiting for a great match,
right.
And it wasn't happening.
What year do you think that was?
Oh, man. Maybe 20... If I had to guess, 2012, 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
Super Cena was in effect.
Yes. Yeah, he was Super Cena, and it was unbearable.
Oh, my gosh. I understand what you're saying.
Not to say... I always said this. John Cena is not a great wrestler, but he's a great performer. Like, he's not very... When he's in the ring, I feel like he moves around like a.
You think he's stiff?
Yes, he's very stiff. Very, very stiff.
Like taking a wrestling action figure and trying to wrestle with it,
basically. Yeah. We always say there's some I'm a big fan of boxing. We always say that there's some fighters that they fight like they're playing football, not baseball.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just very stiff, very muscly.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
And that's what he is.
I get you.
And he's not a great wrestler, but he's very good at evoking emotion from the fans.
He's entertaining.
Whether you like him or not. I've lost my voice booing Cena at a live event.
God.
Man, I swear, his music started playing. There's middle fingers going up everywhere.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was real bad.
There is such a thing as pushing someone a little too hard. And as the whoever's, creating these matches or writing the story, the creative team, eventually get to a point where it's like, dude, just force feeding someone too much and they don't listen to the fans.
Yeah.
And they're just kind of like, regardless of what people say or what they want, we're gonna give them this, and just gonna have to take it.
Yeah.
That might have happened a little too much there.
It probably did. Yeah, it probably did.
But nonetheless, he's heel now, and
Looking forward.
I can't wait for these promos.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And the weeks leading up to WrestleMania.
Mhm.
And if me personally, the last thing I'll say about it is I want him to stay a heel. And for anybody that doesn't know that might be watching this, a heel is a bad guy character. Shout out to Donnie. And a face is considered a good guy. So he is now a heel. And I hope he stays a heel for a little while, and I hope he gets the belt.
He needs at least a good 6-month run.
Right.
For sure.
Right.
I don't want him to get the belt.
But this is monumental stuff. So
it is.
I'm excited for it. I'm excited
deal.
for it.
All right, man. Tag teams.
Let's jump into tag teams.
Let me ask you this. Tag team wrestling. I love it.
Yeah,
I really do.
Right.
What is it that, I don't know, maybe you haven't thought about this, but what is it that we get out of tag team wrestling that you just can't get out of a singles match or any other type of match?
Well, I guess that's a good question. I think because you have more personality in the ring, you have more, it's not just a one-on-one match. So you have a chance for I don't want to call it how would I describe it? Not like an arc, but it's like sometimes you have a tag match start and you have one guy in the ring and he's fighting another guy, and the opponent will tag in and out 2 or 3 times before he even gets to make a tag. So you're building up to that kind of moment, like the crowd will pop and like they want to see the other guy come in, and it's just more something, more of a story to tell, I guess.
That's basically exactly what I was going to say, because I was like, there is a certain suspense that you can only build in a tag match. Right. You can't build in a singles match. Or any kind of match for a triple threat, no matter what it is. With the tag, I swear, there's nothing like, you kind of just said it, but when they cut off the hot tag, when you think it's about to happen, and it doesn't happen, and then they do that, like, when they do it really good, because sometimes it's really sloppy, but when they do it really good, and it's really starting to build, you can't wait for that guy to get that tag, and he finally gets it, man. There's like not many hotter moments in wrestling than like a really good hot tag and a tag match.
Are you familiar with the way when they make a tag, if the wrestler's hand is positioned a certain way, means they're ready to tag it, or like, hey, don't tag me in this spot? Have you heard of that?
Oh, no, I haven't actually.
So, I don't know if this is true
I see what
or
you're
not,
saying,
but supposedly in a match, the way the guy in the ring knows it's time to tag is the wrestler's hand is supposed to be out like this. If their hand's out like this, they're trying to tag, he knows not to tag them.
Really?
That's what I've heard. I don't know if that's true.
That may be. Never heard that one. Do you know the official rule is that
they got to hold that rope?
Yes, you're supposed to hold the rope, the tag rope. Yeah. If you're not holding it, you cannot tag in, but they don't do it. They break it all the time.
The only thing I don't like about tag matches, personally, once you start going to like more than 3 people, like a six-man tag, I don't like. Sometimes it depends, and I also don't care too much for a lot. Like over the years, obviously they've done this forever, but like you don't have natural tag teams like the Dudley Boys or whatever. Some pairings are just like, I just don't care for it.
Yeah, I don't like when they just throw 2 guys together for the sake of throwing 2 guys together.
Yeah,
because they can't find anything else to do with them, I guess. No, I like true tag teams. Like my son always says all the time, his favorite tag teams. It's just a small thing, but it does mean something.
Right.
His favorite tag teams are the ones that dress the same.
Oh, really?
Which means, in his eyes, they're like a real team.
I see what you're saying.
When they dress the same.
Yeah. Like a uniform, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. So let me ask you this: who would you say is your favorite combination tag team that are not like a true tag team?
Oh, interesting. Wow, that's a tough one.
I have one.
Oh God.
Personally.
Did they make long run?
Not necessarily. They had a lot. They've had quite a few matches, but it's not something.
So okay, there's one that I have.
They're big personality people.
Big personality.
Yeah.
HBK and Cena.
No.
Austin and HBK.
No, sir.
Big personalities. Big personalities. Oh man, is Flair one of them?
Nope.
I got it. What is it? I give up. I mean,
The Rock and Sock Connection. I love watching them tag team.
That's a good one.
Mankind and The Rock.
The promos, man.
I know.
Oh God.
What is it like? This is your life. They do stuff like that. It's funny.
Now, there's one that I have. I'll save it though because it's part of my list. But there's one of 2 guys that they're pretty much known as singles wrestlers, but they were a tag team for maybe, I don't know how long the run was, maybe a year. Mm-hmm. But I really like them as a team.
Who?
Well, I'll save it because they're probably gonna be on my top 3.
I'll tell you a combination tag team that was created that I did not care for, and I don't know why it sticks out of my head more than anything. I could not stand the years that they had Daniel Bryan and Kane together.
Oh yeah, I didn't care for that.
Team Hell No.
Yeah, I didn't care for that at all.
I didn't like that at all.
Yeah.
Love them separate, you know.
Yeah.
But just not my favorite.
Would you say that there's some guys that are just meant to be in tag teams?
Yeah.
What are some?
I mean, when you say that, do you mean like they couldn't break off and eventually be like a?
Maybe they could, but there's something
run
about tag wrestling that they're just good at. You know?
Yeah.
I don't think that's a knock on them, because not everybody can do tag
Ironically enough, one of the first ones that came in my head was, it's almost not fair to say now because he is having like such a great run on his own in a different company, not WWE, and I would say like Christian.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
Because like for years he's just like he's a tag team person.
Yeah.
Even though Edge broke away obviously and rose to the top. Christian, he did win a world championship obviously once and lost it. He had a real short run, but now he's in AEW and he's great on his own, I think, as like a individual. But
man, honestly, Christian as a singles is boring to me.
That's what I'm saying. He belongs in a tag team.
Yeah, he does. Though I got two that come to mind.
What?
One, I don't know how much Arn Anderson. I don't know how much you can discuss it, but Arn. I think he can have good singles matches, but man, he's a great tag team wrestler. Like no matter who you put him with. And then my other one would be Cesaro.
Oh,
which I guess is Claudio Castagnoli, but
yeah. I only remember him with Sheamus.
He was with Sheamus. He was with Jack Swagger.
I hardly remember that.
Tyson Kidd.
Ooh, I don't remember that one.
Yeah, he teamed with all those guys, and I would argue that he made all of them. Not that they're not okay wrestlers, but he made them all better. I think he's just good at tag wrestling.
He's really good. He's really good. Yeah.
He's a good wrestler. But
for sure.
All right, man. Let's get into it. What's your we want to go top three? We go 3-1. What?
I'm very biased. We can 3-1.
All right. You want me to go first, or you want to go?
I'll go first because I feel like, man. Okay, so
and we're gonna talk about favorites, not who we think is the greats, but
personal favorites.
Yeah, personal. It's two personal
just
favorites.
Personal favorites. Yeah. So top three, man. There's just so many. I think I have my number one for sure.
I got my three.
I'm probably gonna have to say, man. Even though I don't know, I mean, they really didn't have a long run either. But I enjoy watching The Outsiders, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall.
Yeah.
I have to put them like at a 3.
The only thing about them is, like, if I asked you to name either your favorite tag match of theirs.
This is my list.
Oh God!
Don't do this to me.
They're great singles wrestlers that happen to be cool when they're paired together.
I know.
I don't necessarily know if they make a great
You're right.
team.
I can't tell me. Yeah, but they just belong together.
Scott Kevin Nash. Yeah, they're a great pair, man. I mean, they've got them in the middle of our diorama here. They're like, yeah, they're just cool. Which we should have mentioned that if we do kind of have this agreement that if we are ever going to the same costume party that we have to dress as the Outsiders.
Right.
I call Scott Hall.
Oh, the medium-sized man.
Yeah. Man, Scott Hall's great, man.
That's so hard. I should have thought about it more. This is harder than I thought. I'm thinking of like filtering out teams in my head.
Yeah, man, the Outsiders are cool. They just got, man, they like ooze cool.
I know,
like,
exactly.
They do.
It's undeniable.
Mm-hmm. They're just like smooth. They're just smooth.
Man, if I had a toothpick right now, I'd throw it at the screen.
Well, I'll give you one.
Go ahead.
My third. I guess I'll go 3. Man, you know what? I'm gonna switch my 2 and my 3.
Okay.
3. I don't know how much we can discuss this, but Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard.
He's saying he doesn't know how much we can discuss it because I'm not so deep in my knowledge of some of the older wrestlers. So the team he just said, I probably couldn't name 2 matches they ever had together. That's what he means by that.
And I'm the opposite. I'm basically like a historian of wrestling, pretty much. I mean, not a fish. I really love all eras of wrestling.
Right,
I could watch any kind of. But Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard, they are like the epitome of like tag team wrestling. They're like tag team like specialists. They're just amazing to watch.
I can guess. I have a feeling I know who your number 2 is.
Nah, you don't have no idea.
Road Warriors.
No.
Oh,
The Road Warriors are not on my list.
Oh man.
However, I guess we can say this now. I do consider the Road Warriors the greatest team
Really?
of all time, but they're not on my favorites list.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
But I don't think there's any argument you can make that they're not the greatest team. Who else if not them?
Man, favorites. There's so many that are just like in one particular era that I just can't get away from.
Let me see. Edge and Christian?
No, I thought about it. No, I probably say the Dudley Boys.
See, I think that a lot of people would argue that they're the greatest because they've been everywhere.
Right. Yeah.
But they're good. They're very good. I don't know. I wouldn't put them up there with the Road Warriors.
I get what you're saying.
They're not far behind. I wouldn't say they're far behind, but
they've got a long track record.
They're really good together. They
okay,
really
give me
are.
your number 2.
My number 2 is one of those teams I told you. It's two guys that I think they're primarily known as singles wrestlers, but they had a great run as a tag. You have a guess?
Yes. Is it a pairing from the Radicals?
No.
Dang. Eddie Guerrero's in there?
No.
Okay, I don't know.
Okay. This team, I swear, like as a kid, I think I was probably 9 or 10 years old during their run. And they like had, maybe it's just a story. They really were good. Just talking about that evoking emotion thing I talked about with Cena. Like they really got you to care about them as a team and care about their story and get behind them. And when they paired, it was a weird pairing because one guy belonged in a faction and the other guy was a singles. And so you're like, is the singles guy going to join the faction or is the guy in the faction going to get out of it? It was a great story. Kane and X-Pac.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. They are one of my favorite tag teams. Oh, God. Yeah, they were good. So great as a tag team.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good one.
Yeah, and I think that that big man, little man thing works really good in tag teams. That who else got that? Like
Finley and Hornswoggle.
Oh, Jesus Christ. No, like British Bulldog and Owen Hart. I think you say you've never seen them before.
I know who they are.
Anyway, man, even kind of like Arn and Tully. Arn's not that big, but he's he's kind of the muscle of the group. There's just something really special about that, like a muscle and a smaller guy.
Right.
It just tends to work really well.
I get what you're saying.
In tag teams, but yeah, Kane and X-Pac, I love their stuff together.
That's a good one. That's a good one. So I'll jump to my number 1. It's obviously the Hardy Boys.
Oh, man.
Absolutely love them. I think they're the most entertaining tag team. In my opinion, they're top 2 or 3 like decorated tag team. They've also been a lot of promotions, different companies, and they're still going. Yeah, they're still going. Both had a decent singles run. Obviously, Jeff made it to the top. Matt Hardy never really got there. Not with WWE. I think he was the ECW champion at one point, if I'm not mistaken. But I think I want to say he was a European champion too.
Was he IC champion or something?
I want to say a European champion, but I think Jeff Hardy is actually a Grand Slam champion, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
I want to say. I'm pretty sure. I know he's been a U.S. champion. He's been an Intercontinental champion. He's been a WWE champion.
Oh, Dave back there.
No, it's not.
It's not?
It's neighbors.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I wonder if they'll pick that up.
I bet it will.
You think so?
I bet it will. It's gone now. I don't know for how long.
Anyway, it's Friday. These people, it's time. It's already, 6-something. These people partying.
Anyway.
But yeah, to me, the Hardy Boys are just the best. Like, if I had to pick any match with any tag team, like, I'm picking them. As far as watching a good match that I'm going to be entertained by over and over again, it's just that simple.
They were good. They were my favorite tag team when I was like 8.
And then I grew up.
No, I mean, I don't go back and watch the Hardys very much. I don't really ever watch the TLCs.
I'm sorry, man. Come on, man.
I watched them a lot. I actually got to watch them. I didn't get to watch a lot of pay-per-views when I was a kid, but I got to watch those for some reason. And then there's the ladder match, right? It's just a ladder match with Edge and Christian.
Probably.
Yeah.
There's all kinds, man.
Yeah, they were my favorite tag team back then, and I mean, I appreciate them still. They don't. I think what it is, I don't like. It's not a knock on them. I think I like wrestling more than I like stunts.
Like technical, like legit, like.
Yeah, it's just what I like. I don't know.
I get what you're saying.
But my number one is the Steiner brothers. They are by far my favorite tag team in the history of wrestling. I love watching them in like the 80s NWA or WCW. I love watching them in Japan.
Yeah.
Man, I like when they go to Japan, they wear the U.S. flag. That's their singlet. It's just a cool look. And they have a lot of great tag team moves together, like tandem moves.
Combination moves. Yeah.
Which not a lot of teams have those.
Right.
Even like I can't stand it because that's what makes them feel like singles wrestlers together.
Right.
They don't really work as a tag. But yeah, Rick and Scott, man, they got a whole bunch of moves that they do together. And then Scott Steiner, when he was he was young. He's like almost like a young Brock Lesnar almost.
Right.
Just doing like these crazy athletic moves.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen it's kind of gone viral now, but it's a video of Scott doing like a 450 splash back in like 86
I just saw a video with him, a podcast with him saying he's the first one to ever do it. But
that's what they were saying. I don't know.
The creator of it, inventor of it, or whatever.
Yeah, it may be. I'm not sure.
Interesting.
I wouldn't be surprised if somebody in Japan did it before him.
Maybe.
Or Mexico. But yeah.
He's pretty confident. He said it.
So he's pretty confident just about anything he says, whether he's right or wrong.
Yeah.
Well,
no disrespect. I don't want to be put in the recliner.
Oh man, I swear before everybody does a Hurricane Rana, but back in the day when he would do the Frankenstein, it was like the best move I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
It was like, man, I remember the first time I seen it. I was watching a VHS tape, WrestleMania 9.
Right.
And they wrestle the head shrinkers, and he does it to end the match. And I'm like, oh man, that's just amazing.
Yeah.
Now everyone does it, but favorite tag matches.
Okay, so I'm just gonna just speak on one, and again, this is more of like an era that I'm more familiar with, but I was captivated by the first TLC match, and I know you're not big on the stipulation matches like that, but
they
can get kind of sloppy. They can get start having too many teams.
Yeah, they can.
But to me, Edge and Christian, the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys in the first ever TLC match is like the greatest tag team, especially a stipulation type match that I've seen that I can remember. And I'll watch it time and time again and just don't get tired of it.
I got to say, watching it as a kid, I was like in disbelief of what was happening.
Yeah.
Especially because I'm used to seeing guys go like maybe 2 steps down when they jump off a ladder.
Right.
Like if you watch like WrestleMania 10, like Shawn Michaels doesn't jump off the top of the ladder. He jumps off like 2 or 3 steps down.
Exactly.
So to see Jeff Hardy get on top of the ladder,
right,
like blew my mind as a kid. And I was like, nobody does that.
You wanted more.
Yeah, it was just, oh man.
And they always like up the ante. Like they had another. I think there was a second one, part 2, like another TLC. I don't know if it was at SummerSlam or what exactly, but
yeah, there's 2 of them.
Anything like that. And was it at WrestleMania where Edge spears him off he's hanging on the belt?
Yeah,
I think it was WrestleMania 17.
Yeah, it might be. I can't
remember. Or
remember.
WrestleMania 2000. I don't remember exactly, but
I'm so lost on those WrestleManias. After like 10, I can't tell you which one's which. Unfortunately, probably should if we have a wrestling podcast. But let's see, favorite tag match. Man, I got a lot of them, but a lot of them are like old school wrestling that I just really like.
I got you. Yeah,
I like watching the Brainbusters, which is Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. They wrestled the Rockers on a Saturday night's main event.
Right.
That was a really good match. They just, man, I swear that big little thing works really well. And
I get you.
Arn Anderson's out there clotheslining like Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty's head off, man. Let's see, what's another good tag match I like? Man, these are recent, actually. That's not that we should talk about recent tag teams, but just from a few years ago, FTR, who I really like, and basically, if you ever watch Arn and Tully, that's basically what FTR is in the modern day. FTR versus the Briscoe brothers.
Okay.
Dog collar match, which dog collar matches are some of my favorite matches anyway. I just love something about the look of the chain connecting them and then them using the chain as a weapon. It's just a cool imagery, I guess.
I get what you're saying.
But yeah, have you seen that match?
I want to say I saw. I don't think I've seen it in its entirety. I want to say I was watching highlights of. It was at a pay-per-view.
It was at a Ring of Honor pay-per-view.
Okay.
Which, not a lot of people are going to probably see that.
Right,
anyway.
right.
But Meltzer gave it 5 stars.
Oh my god. That hack.
Oh God,
That's
Yep.
right. He's a hack.
I probably would have to agree. Nah, man, that was a great match. Actually, they made. I actually brought them. We didn't put them in the display, but they made some figures and they come with the dog collars.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Man, I tell you what. Speaking of like that type of match.
Oh, rest in peace, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, go ahead.
I can't stand this. I don't know. This is kind of random. I can't stand the strap matches.
Yeah, strap match is boring.
Or like the ones where like
Yeah.
something on a pole where they're like they got to circle around the ring and like.
Yeah, I hate that. I
hate them.
Yeah. The other kind of match I hate, they don't do it often, but I don't like it when somebody's dangling in a cage above the ring. I can't stand that. You ever seen a scaffold match? Those were tag matches back in the day.
I don't know. That's like some ECW stuff.
Well, it was in NWA back in the 80s.
Oh, okay.
So there's the ring. This is the ring right here. There's a scaffold up here, like built, and you win the match by throwing the guys off the scaffold.
They have to get a. They have to what?
So if the Road Warriors against the Steiners on a scaffold, the Road Warriors would have to throw the Steiners off the scaffold to the ground to win the match. Yeah, it was ugly. You know Jim Cornette, right?
Yeah.
Jim Cornette blew both of his knees out.
Oh man.
And it's ugly. It's hard to watch because if you pay real close attention, he comes down and then his knees just kind of buckle as he hits the ground. And
Ooh.
yeah.
Some people have to fall off a scaffold to blow out their knees, and some people have to slide into the ring and
oh God.
blow both their quads.
Yeah, man. I try to think of some other good tag matches. What are some like maybe tag teams that didn't quite make your list?
I was gonna say okay, so actually it's still in the earlier 2000 era. I'd say like 2004 era, but I actually enjoyed it. This is more of like a technical, which is kind of not really my thing, but more of a technical wrestling was. They're called the world's greatest tag team. It was Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas.
Oh yeah,
they were a faction with Kurt Angle. They put on some really good matches as well.
Yeah, they're good. Very athletic.
Yeah, I really like anything with them.
What about the Outlaws?
I love the New Age Outlaws as well.
Yeah, they're good. I was trying to think the other day because all everybody remembers of them is the promo or is the intro.
Right.
But I was trying to. I was racking my brain. I was like, what was their finishing move? I couldn't remember it the other day. And finally, it came to me.
They had individual finishers.
No, well, they probably did.
I know they did, but they have a tag team finishing move?
Yeah, they did.
What?
The pile driver with the pile driver and grabbing the ankles coming down.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that being
a
finisher.
About?
Yeah.
Which, if my memory serves me right.
Like, would he come off the ropes? Like one has him in a position and the other one
off the ropes? Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't remember that at all. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Who would come off the ropes? Road Dogg?
I believe so. No, wait. It might have been Billy Gunn. I think Road Dogg did the pile driver because Road Dogg would do the pile driver in his singles matches.
One of my favorite moments with the New Age Outlaws, and this sticks out in my mind just because it was like I've never seen it before, but it was on a SmackDown if I'm not mistaken. It was a tables match, I believe. The New Age Outlaws and the Dudley Boys and Billy Gunn hit a famouser on Bubba Ray through the table. He was on the table, standing up, bent over. And he just, from the ground, jumped up and...
Oh, Jesus.
I was like, man, he got up for that. But I think he dislocated his shoulder on the way down.
Oh, God.
Like the way he landed. But
you see Billy Gunn these days? He's still jacked, man. God, he's big. Man, that's another good tag team. His sons, the Guns.
Yeah.
They're good. They're really good, actually.
Yeah.
If you want to watch a good tag match that's recent, the Guns versus...
No. Don't say these fools, man.
I don't know if y'all can hear that, but the neighbors keep cranking up the radio.
Oh,
you probably got to be able to hear that. Anyway, maybe new location next time.
Yeah.
No, but if you want to watch a good tag match.
Oh, my God. Who is it?
I'll just talk through it. The Guns versus Jay White and Juice Robinson.
Oh, okay.
You know them?
Yes.
They're all,
I don't know if I've seen that match, but.
It's really good. 2 out of 3 falls.
Ooh.
It was really good. Really, really good.
What is the one thing? I can't even think of these fools' names. I cannot stand them, man. I can't stand them. AEW, the Young Bucks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I can't stand them.
Man, I had kind of a similar... I talked about my experience with learning about Cena. I had kind of a similar deal with the Young Bucks because...
Are they heels?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Probably most of the time now, I'd imagine. What happened was... there was a big talk about the All In show with Cody and the Bucks and trying to put on the biggest independent wrestling show of all time. Which, as a fan, I was like, man, I'm all over that.
Right.
Just from being a fan of wrestling. I love wrestling. And so I'm watching these guys build up this card, this pay-per-view for, I think months. And I remember Cody posted on Twitter, like, we're swinging for the fences this year and stuff, and just getting hype as a fan. And so just by association, you started to become a fan of the Bucks, even though I didn't really. The only match I had ever seen with the Young Bucks was the Young Bucks versus Candice LeRae and I forget his name because he's been blackballed from wrestling for good reasons.
Really?
Yeah. Joey. Maybe it's not worth saying.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Joey something.
Oh, you said Joey. I don't know. I'm sorry. Why that triggered me. I really like Eminem too when they were back in the day. Eminem. They put on good matches also with like the Hardys and like fatal 4-way tag matches, ladder matches. Yeah. Joey Mercury and Johnny Nitro or so Eminem. Sorry, I just want to throw that in there.
Nah, that's good. What did I say a second ago?
The dude got blackballed.
Yeah, no, that match. That's the only Young Bucks match I had seen before All In. It's an independent match where they're going against Candice LeRae, who's a girl, obviously.
Right.
And it's a real bloody match. But I guess because it was independent wrestling, it didn't bother me as much that, they're basically just doing flips everywhere.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
And then when they kind of came to the big stage and I was trying to get into them, I just didn't dig it. I don't know. I just didn't like it. Just doesn't feel real at all. At all. It feels very like a choreographed fight scene.
Right.
Yeah, and it just doesn't feel. I don't know. I just don't. I don't like them. I can't stand them. Actually.
I got you.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess there's something for everybody. Not for me.
Interesting. Hey, real quick, because anybody that's watching this, comment down below if you're familiar with any of these tag teams we've named. Yeah. Leave a comment if you have a personal favorite. I'd just be interested to see that and kind of, acknowledge what anybody has to say.
I guarantee somebody out there has a name that they're just like dying to say.
Probably so.
Yeah, there's somebody big we left out.
Put a tag team name and maybe why or like a favorite match. I think it'd be cool to see if anybody wants to do that. And I'm gonna give an honorable mention here because I know somebody else gonna be watching this. Shout out to Chewy, El Chewy, Papa.
Oh, Jesus
Sorry,
Christ.
man. DX didn't make this list for me. Or my man JJ here.
We talked about him.
You're just gonna have to understand. Triple H and Shawn Michaels, they just didn't. You're just gonna have to understand, man.
X-Pac and Kane were on my list though.
There you go. DX. Yeah, that's good enough.
Yeah,
that's good enough. You have to just Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio. They're just like, sorry, bro. They didn't make the list.
Not today. Singles wrestlers.
Huh?
They're singles wrestlers.
I know.
Even if they tag together.
But yeah.
You ever? I know you don't watch old wrestling. I would highly encourage you to go back and watch some '80s tag matches. So it's like a golden era of wrestling. Tag team wrestling. So
we talked about that. We're gonna, at some point in time, JJ is gonna give me a list and of 3 to 5 matches, some of his favorites, and because try to maybe rev my engine a little bit of getting into some of those older matches and eras that maybe I could be a little more knowledgeable. And I might enjoy them. I just really don't find myself watching them. So I'll definitely do that and watch them in their entirety. Actually, WCW just put out their own YouTube channel.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah,
a lot of matches been popping up. So that'd be pretty good to do that.
Man,
I have to give them a go.
Because I swear the '80s, it's like a golden era of tag team wrestling. Because in WCW or the NWA, there's Arn and Tully, like I mentioned, the Road Warriors,
right?
The Steiners. There's you ever heard of the Midnight Express, the Rock and Roll Express?
Yeah.
And then on the WWF side, there's the Rockers, Demolition. Have you ever heard of Powers of Pain?
Powers of Pain?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Is Barbarian?
Yeah.
And Warlord?
Oh,
they're together. The Powers of Pain.
Okay.
Man, there's just great teams on both sides. Heart Foundation. That's escaping me. Great teams on both sides. The '90s, I don't think is as good for tag teams. What do you think about today's tag teams? Is there anybody that sticks out to you? And what are your thoughts on the Usos? What are they?
I love the Usos. I think
I like them.
I love the Usos especially in their. They had like their Uso penitentiary phase. Like they had great feuds with the New Day. I think it's probably their best feud.
You think so?
Oh yeah, I love their matches. Awesome.
I don't mind the matches. I just don't know if I would call it a great feud. I don't know.
I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed their match. I don't think they put on a bad match.
No, they didn't. I would agree with that. That's what I said. I like the matches. I don't know if the promos got me into the matches. I think the matches were just good on. I don't know. It was okay. It was all right.
Really enjoy the Usos.
I like them too. I think that those are two guys. No disrespect to Jey Uso, but I think they're better as a team. But
For sure.
I don't know. Some people are not going to like that.
I mentioned this to him the other day or last week or whatever. We were just talking about it. But Jey Uso is literally doing what Jeff Hardy did
Yeah, basically.
10 years ago or 15 years ago, whatever it is.
Yeah.
He's breaking off from his. I think eventually they'll come back together.
Yeah,
I don't think he'll finish as a. But that's always kind of hard because, like, let's say he goes to WrestleMania and he wins the world title and he has a little run with the championship and who knows what comes after that. Maybe he gets 2, maybe he gets 3 championships. And then, like, somewhere before it's over for them, I believe they'll rejoin and have more tag matches. But it's always like, one's like lesser than the other. That makes sense.
It does feel that way.
I don't think they'll ever go back to just being like, because when they were tag team for years, they're equals, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like they were a tag team, you know what I mean? And so they're both on that same level. But now he's elevated, and it just be kind of weird seeing him tag team later on in another 3 to 4 years or whatever.
Speaking of Jey Uso, is he the third man?
Ooh,
Is he The Rock and Cena's third? The connection there, as everybody keeps pointing to, is obviously everybody keeps noticing that Rock held up 3.
right,
Right now there's 2.
correct.
And the connection everybody's making is Travis Scott was in the ring, which I can't stand that as a wrestling fan.
I'll say is
he came out with both of them. He came out with Jay and he came out with The Rock.
that's true.
Yeah. Which is interesting. That's a weird coincidence, if it's a coincidence.
Jey Uso is more than likely going to main event night 1.
Probably
Cody
so.
Rhodes and Cena will probably do night 2.
Yeah.
If they don't introduce the third man, I believe there is one, but if they don't introduce him before WrestleMania, you have to watch WrestleMania Night 1 and see if Jey Uso does anything, signaling that, like, similar to, like, the Tribal Chief, he might have won. Like, after his match, if he wins the title and he kind of just, like, everybody's just going to think, like, he's just doing, like, the bloodline thing. But he could be, you know what I mean? If he does something like that, yes, undoubtedly. Night 2, he will do that, but...
I'm not against it. It just seems like a weird pairing. What would be the story?
Well, it'd be just as shocking. Like we said, we knew somebody was going to turn heel when Cena, with Cody Rhodes and The Rock, had their segment. Like it had to happen. We didn't know who necessarily, but Jey Uso, as hot as he is, and as much of a fan favorite as he is, him doing that would just be another like huge blow. Like huge.
Is it just throwing it out there? If Cody wins, I know you don't want him to win, but if he wins,
he can't win. It's not that I don't want him to. He can't.
I think he'll win at. I don't know.
He can't.
I don't know.
He can't.
But the whole thing is, you want Cena to win the belt and have a heel run as champion.
He has to.
It seemed like it would make it more of a,
in my opinion,
easier to be heel without the title. Be chasing.
In my opinion, you can't have John Cena turn heel at Elimination Chamber and go through this whole ordeal to lose. And then you even said it yourself. Cody Rhodes is more like he's more like fun to watch.
Yeah.
Like while he's chasing the title.
He is. Yeah, he is.
It just makes too much sense.
Well, what I was going to throw out there was, it would be interesting if Cody were to be champion as a babyface champion, which he is, and Jay turns, and then you have a champion that's a heel champion. Are we going to get a unification of some sort?
I don't think so.
No.
We'll get another we'll get another freaking draft before they get a unification title.
I'm tired of that. Oh God.
I don't see it happening.
They need one champion.
They have too many big names on both brands to unify right now. Like on SmackDown and Raw. You got just 5 names off the top of my head. You have Gunther, you have Jey Uso, obviously, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest. There's too many names. Eventually Braun Breaker to have just one title. I just don't see it happening. Not now. Maybe in the future.
I wish they had a smaller roster. We can't all be main eventers.
But if you have a smaller roster, you don't have tag teams.
Oh God.
Not enough tag teams. They need a 3rd tag team title. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh man, no. How many tag? I told you
They need a heavyweight tag team title, a middleweight tag team title.
Japan has that.
And a lightweight tag team title.
Man, there's men's and women's tag champions on every brand.
Right.
That's too many. It's just
It's a lot just for the simple fact that like you lose touch with some of them. Like
Yeah, easy. There's too many.
There is a lot. Like for instance, the Raw Tag Team Championship right now. The War Raiders, I believe, have them.
I couldn't tell you. And
No. Yeah, that's right. I want to say the War Raiders have them. I don't think they have a story going into WrestleMania. They're probably not going to be at WrestleMania. That's not good to me.
Yeah, that's true.
I can see them having one tag team championship between both brands.
If your titles don't even make WrestleMania,
Exactly.
it just means that they don't mean anything. But while we're on the topic of tags, I hate. You kind of mentioned this earlier, but they do like a 4-way all tags. A 4-way match between 4 singles is bad enough.
What about like a 4-way tornado tag? They're all in the ring together.
I hate. Oh my god, I can't hate because you know that you're for sure gonna get that superplex or the suplex spot where they all do at the same time, and then you're also gonna get that spot where they're doing the power bomb and the suplex off the out of the corner. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
I can't stand both of those. You see them coming from a mile away. The guy's up there with the suplex waiting for 30 seconds while the guy gets in power bomb position. Oh, I can't stand it, man.
Oh my god, the carnage.
Before we go though, best tag finishers.
The swanton, the twist of fate to the swanton bomb. It's over.
I don't really feel like
no one's getting up from it.
Oh god,
that is a tag finisher.
I guess
it is a tag finisher.
Sure.
Or the 3D's also good. Deadly Death.
3D is pretty good. I still think the Doomsday device.
That's a good one too.
It's probably the best.
Really?
It's simple, but it's just so effective. I don't know. I'm trying to think. The Steiners have a couple that they use. They're more like tag moves. They're not really tag finishers. The Pile Driver from the New Age Outlaws. It's got to be the Doomsday, I think, from Legion of Doom or the Road Warriors.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah, 3D is good, though. The 3D is really good. Is there another one out there we're missing? A double choke slam.
Oh, God, double choke slam.
I hate choke slams.
Really?
Sort of. I hate when the guy barely gets him off the ground.
Yeah.
But I don't mind. Like, when he does, back in the day, Undertaker choke slam like an X-Pac or something, he was flying, man. That looks good.
Right.
Yeah, that's the best to me.
I don't even know how I hold him like that. Like, one that was like, so it's not okay. It was Undertaker. Actually, when he it was Judgment Day 2000, I believe. He came back and it was Triple H and The Rock in an Iron Man match, no, it's not Iron Man. Where they have they're keeping whoever can pin each other more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's Iron Man.
Okay, it's an Iron Man match, and Undertaker comes back as the American Badass character. Anyway, he clears the ring out, whatever, and he gets Triple H and chokes him, and he's just he holds him up for one, how? You know what I mean? It's one thing to get him off the ground, he got him up high and dropped him immediately, but he held him up there for 3 or 4 seconds.
I know some guys kind of hold themselves on the arm, sort of, I don't know.
It looked cool.
Last thing I think I got to mention on tag, but they don't do this anymore, and I wish that they would. For years, I wanted WWE to bring in War Games.
Yeah.
At Survivor Series.
Yes.
They've done it.
Yes.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
But I wish that they would still have their old school tag matches. I don't know if you know this or remember this or not, but back in the day, Survivor Series, the whole card was tag matches. That was the day.
Really?
Yes, the entire card. And it would be but not just tags. It would be 4-on-4s and 5-on-5s.
Uh-huh.
The whole card. So and their elimination. So
okay.
Like the one I go back and watch a lot. It's Survivor Series 1990. So we got Ultimate Warrior, the Road Warriors, and Texas Tornado, Kerry Von Erich, and they go against Mr. Perfect and all 3 members of Demolition. You know Demolition? Well, not that the match is real great or anything. It's just the crowd's really into it. It's fun to watch, but it's elimination. So you pin one guy. It's 4-on-3, 4-on-2,
okay.
whatever. You know.
Yeah.
It's just a fun match type. Fun. I wish they would bring it back. I don't want them to get rid of War Games. I just think that there's room with as many wrestlers as they have. There's enough room for both, but
an elimination style.
Yeah, elimination style. It's fun. I don't know. I really like those old pay-per-views. They're fun to watch, and I wish they'd bring at least have one of each. Have a War Games match and have an elimination match.
Yeah,
it's not hard to do.
Yeah, I do miss those 5-on-5s. Brand like SmackDown versus Raw.
I can't stand those.
What?
Yeah.
Why? It's like the 5 top from each brand.
Yeah, I can't stand it.
What?
Because they don't act like a team until the week before the pay-per-view. Then all of a sudden they're really proud. Yeah. But all of a sudden, it's like we're really proud to be on SmackDown. We're really proud to be on Raw. We're gonna fight about it.
They come on wearing the SmackDown shirt.
I can't stand it. And they don't wear it the rest of the weeks of the year. Like, oh, I cannot stand it.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
It's the most like insincere like
I get what
calls
you're saying.
ever. It's just I hate it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right.
What do you think? That's a wrap for this?
That might be a wrap for this one for tag teams.
That's it for tag teams. We probably missed something.
Maybe so. We wanted to cover our favorites. Stipulation matches was kind of pretty much in there. We really didn't do like greatest of all time that we thought, but just give me your personal. You said Steiner's your favorite. The Hardys are my favorite. Who do you think is the real quick greatest? This last one win on Road Warriors.
They went all over the world and won the titles all over the world. They won titles in, if I'm not saying, they're AWA champs, NWA champs, WWF champs, New Japan champs, or maybe All Japan champs. I'm not sure. They've won everywhere.
Yeah.
And they're like a big deal everywhere they went too. Like when they show up, it feels like real. It feels like they're, I don't know, they're like, like real life comic book characters or something. They're just, man, they're cool. And you got a great finisher, but they also put on great matches.
Right.
Really good matches.
Yeah.
I just watched the other day, another one you could check out, Road Warriors versus Sting and Dusty Rhodes. Man, great feud.
Man.
Yeah. You gotta watch some old wrestling, man.
Road Warriors. I'll have to check it out. I really gotta. I'll give it a chance. I'll give it a chance and really try.
He won't like it.
Greatest tag team though for me.
Yeah.
I'll probably say Braun Strowman and that kid he put off from WrestleMania. that kid Nicholas. I mean, hey, undefeated.
Oh, Nicholas.
What tag team in the industry can you say is undefeated? They are. Okay. What are you gonna do? Okay.
Who else is undefeated? It's gotta be somebody else out there.
It can't be. Everybody's taking a loss.
Nah, there's definitely guys who teamed up for a night.
Probably. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's about it. If you enjoyed it,
do you agree they're the greatest?
Who?
The Road Warriors.
I don't think I've seen enough of their matches to be able to say that. Again, I'm very more biased in like the even the late 90s is pushing it, but definitely 2000s.
From what you've seen, who would you call the greatest?
The Hardy Boys.
Oh my God. Well, I guess that is a wrap.
Yeah.
All right, man. We'll catch y'all on the next one.
We'll be back hopefully with another episode next week.
What's our next topic?
Let's give them a topic for next week. I don't know. So next week's episode, we will be talking about some of our favorites, and maybe even the greatest stipulation type matches, specialty matches. There's a ton of them that they don't do anymore.
I know.
That we can remember.
Something they got to bring back.
There's some they need to bring back. Some they're just like
some
iconic.
They gotta get rid of.
Some they probably need to get rid of.
Yeah, definitely.
We're gonna dive in a little bit of that next week, along with some of this other WrestleMania. That's the stuff that's unfolding.
Yeah, always give our thoughts on it for sure.
Yeah, we'll touch on that as well. So if y'all enjoy the video, like it, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
All right, man. That's
Later.
it.
Bye.
Peace.